The Arizona Cardinals might be facing their toughest opponent yet. And of course, it comes on our only primetime game of the 2024 season. Let's go ahead and preview Cardinals versus Chargers Week 7 Monday Night Football. Let's get started. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video. Definitely do me a huge favor, smack up that like button and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. On this channel, we're covering the Arizona Cardinals throughout the entirety of the 2024 season, so subscribe it up. It's absolutely for free. All right, everybody, let's go and dive right into it. Let's talk about Cardinals versus Chargers Week 7 matchup. And I'm not going to lie to you, this is going to be an absolute tough game for the Cardinals to come out with the W, but it's an absolute must win. Currently, right now, if you look at the standings for the Cardinals, right now they are sitting third in their division at a 2-4 record. Now, when you look at the Los Angeles Chargers, they're currently 3-2 in the division at the number 2 spot. Now, they does seem to be a very, very crowded AFC West at the very moment. Of course, the Chiefs are sitting at 5-0, and then you got the Broncos continuing to win with a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix. So the Chargers are going to be wanting to obviously continuing to stack wins, and maybe Chargers fans and looking at the Cardinals as a potential win leaving Week 7. Now, like I mentioned before, this is going to be our only primetime game in the 2024 season for the Arizona Cardinals. And guess what? We don't even actually have the day to ourselves. We actually splitting a primetime slot, different times, but the Monday Night Football slot with the Buccaneers and the Ravens. So the Buccaneers and Ravens are actually starting at 5:15 p.m. Arizona time, and then the Arizona Cardinals are kicking off at 6 p.m. Arizona time. So we don't even get our own day, but nevertheless, this is a game that the Cardinals absolutely need to win. Now, like we mentioned before, the Cardinals right now are sitting at 2-4 in the division, sitting at the number 3rd spot in the NFC West. Now, this game is going to be a big deciding factor as to, are the Cardinals going to be 2-5 heading into Week 8, or are they going to be 3-4 and trying to get this season corrected? Right now, when you're hearing Kyler Murray speak, he's got all the confidence in the world. He doesn't seem like he's wavering from the challenge of getting this Cardinals back into some sort of contention. Now, that's exactly the culture that Jonathan Gannon, Drew Petzing, as well as Nick Rallis is trying to create with this Cardinals organization. But this game right here is as must win as you possibly can think, right? I know right now there's a lot of Cardinal fans that are tuned off with the 2-4 start, although there is a lot of moral victories to take under your belt. The Cardinals need to start winning some games to get this fan base excited about the 2024 season. Now, looking at the Chargers, this might be one of the toughest teams we're going to be playing in the 2024 season. Now, if you looked at the schedule before the 2024 season started, we might have said, okay, this is where the schedule kind of gets a little easier for the Cardinals. Yes, we actually had a gauntlet to start the season, and if you look at this portion, you're like, okay, this is where it gets a little easier, but it's not the truth. The Chargers are one of the best defenses in the entirety of the NFL. Now, if you take a look at the defensive rankings in the NFL, the Chargers are definitely top 10. Now, I'm talking about top 10 in total defense, top 10 in passing defense, top 10 in rushing defense, and what do you know, also top 10 in scoring defense as well. So we're talking about one of the biggest challenges the Cardinals are going to need to try to get past this team. Looking at what the Chargers have done so far this season, yes, they are 3-2, but they have not allowed any of the teams that they played, including the Chiefs, to more than 20 points. Now, yes, they lost to the Chiefs, but all the opponents they had, the Broncos, the Steelers, the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Panthers, none of them scored more than 20 points on them. So that tells me that we're talking about a defense that's very, very stingy in terms of just allowing points on their defense. Now, if you're looking at the injury report for Cardinals versus Chargers, as of right now, there is a whole laundry list of different players that are on the injury report for the Cardinals, as well as the Los Angeles Chargers. So as you can tell, I speak very, very highly of their defense, but their offense is definitely very, very good as well. Of course, they got their quarterback in Justin Herbert. As of right now, it doesn't seem like he's having the best statistical start to the 2024 season. Right now, he has 815 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, has a QBR rating of 49.8. But if you take a look at his wide receiving core, it's not the wide receiving core that he had in his prior years, right? With Mike Williams as well as Keenan Allen. He's had a lot of good, dependable wide receivers. This year, he's got Joshua Palmer, Quentin Johnston, Ladd McConkey, which is a good up-and-coming rookie. So he's got some weapons, definitely, but definitely doesn't really seem like it's really translating in the passing attack. I'm really worried about their run game with J.K. Dobbins. Now, J.K. Dobbins has spent some time with the Baltimore Ravens, of course, with some injuries. He didn't really find a solidified spot over there, and of course, because they moved on with King Henry, J.K. Dobbins needed to find another, number one spot, and he found it with the Los Angeles Chargers over. So J.K. Dobbins is having a really good start to the 2024 season right now with 81 carries, 438 yards. Right now, that is 6th in the NFL, 3 touchdowns, and averages about 5.4 yards a carry. Now, definitely nothing to sneeze at. The Cardinals' biggest weakness is being able to stop the darn run. And of course, because we got some very unfortunate news with obviously Justin Jones a few weeks ago, landing himself on the IR, and now Bilal Nichols. Yesterday, we found out that he is now on a season-ending IR as well. So the two guys that we brought in from free agency with Justin Jones and Bilal Nichols to stop the run, they're no longer going to be there for the 2024 Arizona Cardinals, unfortunately. So really worried about J.K. Dobbins really eating in week 7 against the Cardinals. We're not really good in stopping the run. And of course, if Jim Harbaugh can know that and commit to the run, Dobbins might just have a career game against the Cardinals. We're not that great. Now, like I said, the defense that we have is kind of hot and cold. We can definitely very well shut out a defense, but it really depends. If our offense isn't going, then our defense is finding himself on the field too long. And of course, that's not a spot you want to be in for the Cardinals defense. Now, this is what the Cardinals need to do to try to get some sort of edge in this matchup. Now, like I mentioned before, that defense is very good. Their offense is, serviceable, but I do feel like the Cardinals can potentially outscore them if they do these things. And I'm telling you, this is a big if, right? The Cardinals offense needs to play flawlessly. Now, for the most part, we are pretty much a good team when it comes down to penalties, with the exception of last week. We've had a season high of penalties in week 6 versus the Green Bay Packers, and I'm really hoping the Cardinals clean it up, because you cannot play behind the sticks, especially on a defense that is not going to give you a lot of yardage through the ground as well as through the air. So the Cardinals are going to need to obviously run the ball very effectively with James Conner. We cannot shy away from James Conner. He is going to be the guy that's going to be hopefully getting us those ugly yards, 3, 4, 5, 6 yards, right? Trying to maintain drives. And as long as our offense can convert third downs, keep penalties to a minimum, and score points, I think we got a real shot here. Now, like I said, it's going to be a very long shot, because we've seen what this Arizona Cardinals offense has done so far, especially in these last 3 weeks. We've seen a lot of inconsistencies, a lot of penalties, a lot of not being able to convert third downs, a lot of shying away from the run game when that's supposed to be our big identity. So it's going to be a tall task, but we're going to need to be able to play clean football with Kyler Murray not causing any turnovers. We're going to need to have our wide receivers not drop easy balls that are thrown to them, and I'm looking at Michael Wilson. Hopefully Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be a go, and then of course Trey McBride. Those are going to be our top 3, weapons for Kyler Murray to throw the ball to. Now, we might see a debut of Zay Jones. Now, whether you think that's an upgrade or not, that is going to be another weapon over 6 foot, hopefully in the middle of the field for Kyler Murray to potentially catch on a drag route, maybe a slant route, something that Kyler Murray is hopefully going to be able to see to hopefully continue to move the ball and convert those third downs. Now, like I said before, the Cardinals offense are going to need to play flawlessly. We know what our defense is, right? We've seen our defense do some good things here, right? Shutting out the Lions in the second half, shutting out the 49ers in the second half, but we also have seen the other side of our defense as well, right? And that's going to be not being able to stop the Green Bay Packers, not being able to stop Commanders, and that's definitely a spot the Cardinals do not want to find themselves in. If they blink their eye and they're down by 14, 21, and then we're going to have to play catch up, that's just going to kind of throw everything out the window. Now, our defense, like I mentioned, they're kind of hot and cold. They're kind of inconsistent, but one thing that I can say is that the defense gives you at least 1 or 2 turnovers a game that the Cardinals offense needs to capitalize in there, right? We need to be able to get those 1 or 2 turnovers that the Arizona Cardinals defense is providing to us and be able to score points. We cannot do these 3 and outs. We cannot look bad. We need to make sure that we start off hot, especially when the lights are the brightest on Monday Night Football. Only primetime game of the season, and they need to come out like they were shot out of a cannon. That's the only way the Cardinals are going to have any sort of success against this defense. And like I mentioned before, there's no way the Cardinals want to start off at 2-5. Absolutely not. As of right now, we have less than 3 weeks away from the trade deadline, and there's a lot of people chattering, a lot of people talking about a potential the Cardinals being sellers, but you can stop all that noise if the Cardinals take care of business on Monday Night Football. Is it going to be easy? No, of course not. But none of these teams in the NFL is going to be an easy win Sundays, Mondays, or Thursdays. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts here? Do you think the Arizona Cardinals can pull off an upset? As of right now, if you take a look at BetUS, they currently have the Los Angeles Chargers as a 3-point favorite. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day, and go Cardinals.